well, one and all, to the second time I've tried to premiere this series because at this channel, tech issues are a glorified way to say welcome. I don't know where I'm going with this speech, but just your daily reminder, it is fucking cold. Take your cold medicine. Bundle up if you're in a cold area. Or if you're in Texas, maybe look on how to deal with the cold so this way we don't have another year. Um, and I can say that because it's my channel and not yours. What the fuck are you gonna do about it? Um, like hell, I put socks on today, so no free grippers. Okay, that is not how I expected this rant to go.
And yet, that's why you chose to go with it.
Sometimes things just come out. Welcome to the Dissonance Complex. I'm attempting to start a new show put in the My Hero universe. For you guys who don't know what that is, it's My Hero Academia, an anime for weebs, where people have superpowers called quirks, and they do things. But ours is not going to be set in Japan. That's boring. We know the story of Deku and the story on another streaming aspect that is also happening in Japan. But no, we are moving into the future in the My Hero world in a place called DHA, better known as the Dublin Hero Academy in Ireland, where top heroes are very questionable if they've committed murder and have gotten out of jail on multiple technicalities, where villains are sometimes sponsored by the government. But we don't need to talk about those stories today. We're here to talk about a young boy, 15, going into the academy. It's an early morning. The sun is shining down in a perfect blossom upon the leaves covered within the morning dew. Birds are chirping here and there as they do. The sun barely coming up above the horizon as just the small sound of a window opening as Lance is once again trying to sneak out. Would you like to tell us a little bit about Lance, Calcifer?
Yeah. Lance is very well. First off, Lance is around, I believe we said 5'4" was his height. Got very short, like blonde mess, like messy in the way that just it constantly looked like someone was trying to mess up his hair.
Mm-hmm.
And currently, one of his left arm is in a sling, as he's just wearing the uniform for the school because that's where he is trying to get to at the moment.
Uh, and the
There's
uniform for
not too much.
you. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, there's not too much else extra about him other than like surprisingly he surprisingly for being a 15-year-old boy in Ireland, it looks like he has a very good like skincare and hair care routine, mainly because the parts of his parents' mutations that he did get kind of forced it on him.
Mm. And for anyone who wants to say anything about, that small jab at people in Ireland not having good healthcare routines, Cal is from Ireland, so it's allowed.
Oh, yes, that is a jab at everyone, including myself, from this fucking country.
Just want to toss that out there. Are you wearing your sling as you move out to support your arm?
At the moment, yes.
Wonderful. As you sneak out and head to leave the house, almost like clockwork every time you've snuck out, your mother is sitting there, her hair very up in like that messy mom bun, her tail wrapped around her waist as she's sitting in the car. Not because cars can't be made to deal with tail, she just didn't want to spend the extra $2,000 to get a car with a tail hole that it could just wrap around her waist. Sitting there, dressed in a loose, like button-up white shirt. It's definitely been like rolled up to like her elbow. Wearing very loose fitting but still decently professional pants. It's clear it's tight where it's supposed to be, but not tight enough. It's restricting her movement. And as soon as she sees you trying to walk through by the side of the house to the front, she just rolls down a window and just gives you that mom glare.
J- just Lance is just going to look back with her, and after like a few months of just silence, is just there like, I'm trying to head to school. I thought this was going to be a good thing.
You know we have to go by the doctor one more time before school starts, sweetheart.
Uh, and Lance is currently contemplating his two options of I could go to the doctors
Mm-hmm.
or I could go for a runner.
Mm-hmm.
Though the safer option is probably the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
He's just going to slowly, kind of defeated, walk over to the car and get into it.
As you get into the passenger side, you look in the back seat, and there's like this 7 foot tall man, like curled up in the back, completely just having ripped shorts, and just kind of decently sucking on his thumb while curled up. His skin almost the brownish gray of pure concrete. His hair, despite being messy and tangled, it is still somehow almost perfectly chiseled, and he's slightly snoring. It is your dad.
Just kind of look back there, look at my mother, and just, I'm not going to question what you two got up to.
We didn't get up to nothing. Your father wanted to get up to something as it's getting to, that time of the year.
Oh,
He kinda really forgot that I'm really skilled with a bow staff.
it's kind of
She'll.
hard to do because it's your one gimmick.
Yes. She does. Discord. Why the fuck were you. Hi, welcome. We're technically. My phone just became my camera. Let me fix that. Turn on my
Hmm.
camera. There we go. I don't know how long it was happening because I was not looking at the stream information. Uh, maybe it's because I don't like to look at myself in the face. But yes, your mom pulls out. She's driving towards the doctor, which is not that far. You guys did just move to Dublin, so you can be closer to doctors' offices, and specialists that would benefit you. She was able to get a house that was only about a 20-minute drive from the house to almost any doctor that you can need, and only about a 30-minute drive to the school, or like a 45-minute walk. And she's just like, so how's your arm? Is your breathing okay? Have you been doing your exercises that the doctor has been telling you? Have you been resting? If you're not been resting, I'm not going to take you to school, and I'm going to leave you in your room again.
Arm's fine, breathing's fine. Yes, I've been doing those exercises. Yes, I've been getting rest.
Now, are you sure you don't need anything for pain this morning? Because I do still have the pain pills that you would take if you're in pain, or a muscle relaxer, or anti-inflammatory for your nerves.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Usually, when people say they're fine, they're not fine.
Just going to look her dead on in the eyes and just like, I'm fine.
Well, fine, but you're still going to get checked out again. If you prefer, I'll just call Harnesis to meet us at the school.
I thought you didn't want to see me in pain.
He's just doing a checkup, and if he dares try to hurt my little chunky monkey, I am going to make sure that he does not breathe again in his entire life.
Fine.
She'll end up taking you by the school. The drive isn't log. She's going through with multiple different questions. Protective. Mama monkey brain. And as you get to the school, she parks and kind of guides you towards the front entrance. The school is a little bit bigger than it's been in the past. Some more work has been done here and there. Walls have been reinforced to be able to take sound blast from some teachers. And walls have been integrated with things that cannot absorb, energy, once again, because of some teachers that you would know of. And other walls have been candy proofed. Honestly, everything has had to change a lot recently due to the new teachers that they have hired. But you have the main school building where all your classes going on. Right next to it are larger buildings for the different classrooms, dorm rooms. Very traditional school. But in the entryway is just a plus sized woman. But not the traditional like hourglass. Much more like bulky, sturdy type of build, despite being more plus size. She's just sitting there with a small yawn. It's early, but she knows your mother. So she wanted to get there before the cafeteria even opened. She's dressed in the uniform herself, except instead of wearing the skirt aspect, she's wearing the pants. Um, she always would say it's to deal with the mobility of a skirt. This is Sam Daly, your friend from childhood, just leaning up against the wall, kind of like dozing off while standing up.
That's fair. Lance is probably also just like in that daze of, I had to wake up. Just knowing he has stuff to do,
Mhm.
but just kind of like going through the motions of the day with like no thought.
Yeah, you guys do get to meet and talk for a second. The traditional hi, how are you? Very like tired, like automatic conversation. Your mother goes to open up the cafeteria doors. It is completely empty, unlike years in the past where it was very traditional, like tables that you would find for things, long aisles. The room has been changed to be a bit more personalized with like actual round dining tables put here and there, tables. It has been integrated to have places to eat. outside within almost like a little garden that the recent gardening club in the past couple of years left for the school. Some benches out there. But the most important thing is we see our first pro hero. He's decently young, still in his internships. He's about 20 years old. He is currently just wearing a oversized hoodie and some pants and gloves while he's cooking with an apron around it. Too lazy to wear his hero uniform. He could. It's not a requirement of his job. This is the pro hero, number 58, Sweet Treat. He is the grandson of the pro hero Savory Sweet and the current chef of the DHA. Um, when he sees your mother walk in with you and Sam, it's just that first moment of, I have told you I won't have breakfast ready for another hour. You need to stop coming in here early. Well, my son decided to sneak out and he needs a proper breakfast for his education. I just pulled the supplies out to start cooking. I can't magically make food. Isn't that your entire quirk? Yes, but that doesn't mean I want to do it. They have a conversation, but eventually, um, Sweet Treat walks up to both of you, taps, basically taps the side of your mouth to get both of your tongues to come out. He gives it a single tap, and the breakfast that both of you, um, you may not even know you're craving it, but the perfect breakfast that will sate your desire appears right on the table in front of you. And for Samantha, it's literally just a traditional Irish breakfast: eggs, bacon, sausage, anything that she could want, and she's just chowing down like she grew up in a barn.
I'd say it would probably be a similar thing for Lance of just like the full Irish spread of just you got your eggs, you got your sausage, your rashers, you got the two types of pudding, different pudding to what Americans have.
Mm-hmm.
You have like fried mushrooms, fried tomatoes, and like toast on the side. Like it is the full spread.
Yeah, there's even a moment where Sweet Treat does have to walk over to Sam's food. He goes to the kitchen, brings a cup of coffee, and switches that for Sam's food, and just goes, "You are too young to have a vodka Irish coffee. How the fuck do you know what? I'm not gonna question how you know what that tastes like. I've met your parents. I went to school with your parents, and it's just gonna take the coffee that has alcohol in it. It just down it himself.
No questions, just food.
Food. Um, your mother does end up putting an order. Sweet Treat does try to do the same trick, but she just kind of looks at him and just refuses to stick her tongue out so someone can put, their finger on her tongue. But a little bit of time passes as you're finishing up your food. This shirtless man in basically glorified underwear just kind of walks back in very tired and just goes, "When the fuck did I get to the school? I was sleeping in bed." He'll look over to his wife and just get a complete stare, and then just like a puppy goes sits next to his son and just goes, "Do you have extra clothes in your bag, or is your mother gonna kill me for being in my underwear in a school again?"
First of all, what do you mean by again?
You know how feral dad is. He just does his own thing.
And secondly, I don't think I packed clothes that would be in your size, considering I packed for myself.
It is not. It's not the first time that I have ever worn a crop top and booty shorts like it was, XX90s.
Then you would probably have to ask Mother, because she's the one that dragged you into the car.
Yeah, but I don't want to do. Fine. Well, at least you got to school without seeing a doctor.
Yet.
If you want, I can distract your mother so you can just go to homeroom.
I'm just going to look at him and whisper, "This is why you're the better dad."
Uh, Other dad does want to tell you something, I think, but I don't think I want to know what it is, but I don't think you want to know what it is.
I don't believe I want to know either.
Well, sometimes we don't get an option on Other Dad. Especially for the next month. Your mother is going to kill me. Though you might not be the youngest, anymore, depending on how this, dance goes.
I don't need to I don't need to know.
Sam is just listening to this conversation like it's the most normal thing in the world. But after.
Oh yeah, has probably heard this question multiple times before.
Yes, as time moves a bit forward, your mother does end up taking you to go see Harmacist. Harmacist is currently the head of the medical center within the DHA, wearing his hero outfit. Main reason because it's the only way he could get a warhammer, a war spike, drills, bow staffs. Um, for some odd reason, you see him having a whole assortment of guns within the wall, each one having like his signature on it, so he's allowed to bring it in through customs. He's currently wearing a lab coat with a belt of multiple different assortments of surgical weaponry. He has the traditional ones on his right side of his hip. Then on his other side, there's knives, daggers, a long sword hilt holding a sword. His hair is currently up in a very messy bun. He has a visor on him. His hair is a bright red. His hair puts the traffic cones to shame. His shirt is slightly unbuttoned to see just a puff of chest hair coming out. His skin as light and pale as one would expect. Freckles cover his body, and he just goes, "Now, how many times do I have to tell you? Your son does not need to come in here every single day. Doesn't matter how much I stab him until I can go into surgery and break every single one of his bones. I can't do anything." "Well, you can give my son a checkup to make sure he's okay for the hero course. I allowed him into the hero course months ago. He is safe. Just don't overuse your arm. Got it, kiddo?"
Yeah, yeah. Heard this spiel like 3 times this month alone.
Wonderful. Now, get the fuck out of my office. I have more important things to do. Like, for some odd reason, one of the new students said, "You know what? Let's get drunk and think I can fly," then end up in my office this morning, and I have to do a completely reconstructive surgery of someone's leg. And he pulls out a little chainsaw and then hooks it up and goes behind a curtain.
Yeah, I think I've seen enough here.
Yeah,
For once, Lance is going to follow the doctor's orders and get the fuck out of Dodge.
yes, the sadistic hero Harmacist has the quirk called Painful Recovery. The more pain he inflicts on a person, he turns that pain into healing energy. But as you guys walk out, you do hear the scream of someone with a drunken scream of someone in pain. And the sounds of chainsaws coming from the nurses' station. And just a couple of the new nurses who are third years starting their first internships with him, just sitting outside trying not to barf. A couple
That's
comments
fair enough.
as you walk down the halls of other third years, just being like, you know, just because he is the most sadistic healer we've ever met. Well, he is from the Flynn family. We do know his brother and his sister. Technically, his dad. His dad's hot. He's old. I could call an old man hot if I want to. Just going down the hallway of people simping. Um, but
Some things
Sam,
do not change with time.
yes, Sam is going to look over at you and just go, "Yo, what up, my dude?" And she's gonna hold her hand out for a fist bump.
Oh, yeah. Just, it's a full on return of like, I feel like with Lance and Sam, because
Mm,
of their, like, how they grew up together, this is not just a fist bump. This is basically punching each other in the fist
mm-hmm.
of just full power.
Yeah, she when she sees you load up for that, she also loads back. So it's that full thing of punching each other, and then just because of how they are, I feel like they're staring at each other to see which one moves their fist first.
Oh, it is definitely just like, I am not moving until you move.
All right, both of you are roll a fortitude check against hers.
All right.
For the people in the audience, a fortitude check is basically how well you handle pain, stimuli, and quirk effects in this system. So she has her 3 in power. She rolled a
Same on my end.
6. She rolled a 12 for her fortitude.
While Lance rolled a 9.
Uh, yeah, you do that, and there's just a full moment where you think you're both tired. There's no way you could lose. And almost as soon as the punch hits, there's a couple seconds where you get to stare before you draw your hand back, and you can see just for a second there's like a little bruise forming like on your knuckles.
They're really just trying to shake out through just like, ah, fuck.
You know, if you didn't want to lose again, we could have just done a normal fist bump.
Fuck you. Next time I'll win.
You've been saying that for 4 years.
And I've won my fair few. The scoreboard's only like 10 to 30.
Yes, out of 30 times, you've won 10 times. It's almost like a 70% win rate.
Fuck you. I'm winning the next one.
Here I thought you were an athlete.
Oh, you did not just say that to me.
She gives you a bit of smirk while stepping ahead and just kind of jogging backwards in front of you. Well, last I checked, I got a better score on the entrance exam. So since we do have a 2 hours for classes start, she like goes into her pocket and pulls out a key and just twirls it around her finger. I did get Mr. Kakashi's key to be able to use the athletic training field if you want to have a quick race.
Lance is just silent before looking her dead in the eyes and just going, "You do not know the mistake you've made."
Mm. Well, we'll see if now it's, 31 to 10, or is it 11 to 30? Well, 31. Well, 11. You know what? Math. I was never the smartest. You know this. Um, and she's just going to slow down to walk beside you again and just like, by the way, Mr. Kakashi, very easy to you know, manipulate. And yes, I know we're supposed to call him Ida, but I can do what the fuck I want.
Duly noted.
Yeah, it's because I believe it's. You realize she's thinking for a minute. Is it because in Japan they put usually surnames first when introducing people? They say Kakashi Ida, so Ida's the first name and it's Ida Kakashi. Or I feel like I need to take Japanese lessons.
We both know how well that would turn out.
Hey, hey, I was gonna say something that I realized only technically my aunts and uncles know Japanese.
Well, I'm saying that because remember German?
Uh, I flunked out of that faster than anything.
Uh huh.
Hey, listen, I know English. And that's the only thing I'm going to need for my education and to be a pro hero. And I just don't go to another country where I have to know a different language. Pretty simple. And technically,
Sure.
I can just manifest that I know a language. That's how I passed German the second time.
And yeah, you still failed French as well.
Well, I forgot that I just had to manifest knowing the language. That and my father told me I can't use my quirk to cheat on exams.
Yep.
And I responded with technically Uncle cheated on some exams before they realized they had to put him into a noise canceling room in his second year.
Except with him, they tried to force him to retake it, and he just said no.
True. As you guys were talking, you finally got to this. It looks like a track field. She goes over and puts a key into like a little like podium. And she's like, so do we want to do first, second, or third year courses, or we can do the pro hero course though? Your mother told me if I let you do anything more than the first course, she was going to show me where the fishes sleep, like some weird movie from like 50 years ago.
Sounds about right. But what does she know? I am in tip top shape at the moment. As he realizing he's going to have to run, just undoes the sling so he has a bit better arm movement.
Mm-hmm. For So in tip top shape, it really does look like it. And she points to the sling now on the ground. Now, let's
I only
do.
keep that on because it makes everyone else happy.
Let's do. She's gonna put on the Pro Hero one, just to see how both of you stand. That is going to be a acrobatics check and a reaction check against hers. So let's start with acrobatics. Uh,
All right.
she rolled an 8.
That is a 13 for a critical.
Yeah, you're fully beating her at just the pure fast aspect of it. Ducking under, jumping over different things. As we get to the chorus, a bit more on reflexes, reactions. She rolled a 7 for. No, that's not a critical for her.
Well, I rolled a 6 with nothing in reaction, so
You both. Well, you beat her getting to the reaction portion of the course. Swipping, ducking, amongst other things. She's having a bit more of an issue navigating some things here and there. When it comes to the more reaction based, you are slowed down a bit more by having to like protect your arm and shoulder to make sure it doesn't get hit. She's ducking, weaving. At one time, she even just grabs one of the sign that appears over with her hands and just flips herself over it. You guys are actually going to tie as you both run through. On the scoreboard, neither of you show up in the Pro Hero exams. It took you guys about a solid 10 minutes. For her, when it came to the pure speed aspect, for you during the dodging aspect. Compared to some other first years, you did score higher.
yes, I am mighty assholes. Probably.
It could be worse, but that was a good warm up. So if you go through that door, that's our gym. Right over there's dorm rooms. Right over there is going to be our dorm rooms. And right over there is the most glorious place on campus, the cafeteria.
Well, I already knew where the cafeteria was.
Yes, but I wanted to make a note. I'm supposed to be giving you a tour, and technically, Celia told me I had to tell you where everything is going to be. Um, I, do we really need to give the tour? Pretty sure you can know everything based on a map, and you can just text me if you have questions.
So Lance is just gonna go, if I have a map, I'll be fine. But one thing I will say about Lance is if he leaves his front yard, that boy is getting lost.
She's gonna give you a map and just goes, so, do you want to meet our rep? Because, like, technically, I was supposed to take you to them like 20 minutes ago, but I needed time to mentally prepare for her.
Yeah, that'll be fine. It's just Lance is reading the map, and it's perfectly right side up. But in his mind, he just goes, oh shit, it's upside down, and just flips it so it actually is upside down.
When you flip it, she just takes the map from your hands and flips it again.
I was fixing it.
Sweetheart, you know, how do I put this nicely? From someone who comes from a monkey and a chimera, you're really bad at telling directions.
I am not bad at directions.
You literally just had a map that was faced the right way and then turned it upside down again.
Well, how was I supposed to know? Technically, it would have still been readable.
But everything would have been backwards. I'm trying to figure out how. You know what? I like living, and I'm not gonna be mean right now because I'm pretty sure, despite your mother not being here, she will magically know if I talk shit about you. That or my dad will magically show up.
Both horrifying experiences.
Hey, it's not like some people. And she says that it instantly jumps back as you see this large chimera like beast just run up, stand up on his back paws. You watch as his two front paws, which are
Oh
more
no.
um
Oh no.
beaster like, turns into hands. The His head goes from this large beast to a bit more humanoid and just goes, "What up, son?"
Hi. Hi, Dad.
How's the pup doing? Finally gonna tie the knot with your best friend?
Lance was like going to just say five before it just says five. Sorry, what?
Well, of course, some of the best mating rituals and knowing how to take care of your young can come from two people who already know each other. Great bond. Relationships.
I don't think I should be taking relationship advice from you, sadly.
What, is that you guys are not
Just,
compatible?
I,
He's gonna wrap his arm
just
around
going
you
to,
into like a huddle moment and just go, "Is it 'cause you're scared that you're a virgin?"
just going to blank stare at him and just say, why is every question you ask me just a loaded question? No matter how I answer any of your questions, it is going to sound bad.
Well, I just wanted to say good luck. And now you're moving out of me and your mother's den for the next couple of years. I thought you might want a little bit of your inheritance early.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm gonna give you a little bit of your inheritance early. I plan to give it to you when you moved out. I mean, technically you are. Because my little pup is finally becoming a man.
And yeah, you're still calling me a pup.
You're always going to be a pup. I mean, you haven't hunted yet for yourself. You haven't found a mate. You haven't had your own pups. Hell, I've even checked your search history and it's boring.
Excuse me?
Don't worry about it. He's gonna hand you a prepaid Visa debit card and just go, "Listen, son, I know living on your own can be hard. Not because you need money, and not because you need food, or any other basic life things that most people would expect me to say in this situation. It is because you'll be lonely without a mate, so here's fuck money. Buy a stripper.
Pardon.
There's some money. Every time you won a game, I put $400 into a bank account. There is about $45,000 on this card. You can get as much bitches as you want to learn how to properly please your future mate.
And this is why other dad is the one that always comes out when you guys have to go to social events.
See, you would think that, but it's because your mother has issues and there's just a whack as he fully falls down and you just see your mother's heel in the back of his head.
I saw nothing. Apparently, I have to go meet a class representative. Just trying to escape this conversation as fast as possible.
Yeah, Sam's just going to like nudge you into the side a little hard and just goes, "So, I don't know if I should feel upset that you couldn't answer if you liked me or not.
Oh, please, your ego doesn't need any boost.
Now you're calling me egotistical."
Well, if the shoe fits.
Well, at least I have two working arms.
My other arm works fine, thank you.
She just gently pats your shoulder, very like sympathetic. Oh, sweetheart, keep believing that. She'll go ahead and take you to your dorm room, not your dorm rooms, the classroom as people are going in and out. It's about an hour before classes start. There are some early birds since it's, the first day of school. Some of them are sleeping. This is the only day they're ever going to be early. Your teacher is not even there yet. You see one kid that's just in a black hoodie, black pants, just sitting in the back, his head down, mumbling ever so often. This is Natsu O'Share, Quirk Animation. He is able to uh, gain any ability that is found in an anime. He is talking to a girl decently short. She bloomed very early when it comes to her body. Wearing her button-up shirt, the short skirt, tights underneath. But her skin is much more closer to a very pale, almost sickly, two devil-like horns growing out from her head with different rings going on there. She currently has 5 rings. She is just kind of having the small conversation that you can overhear. It's like, did you watch the new episode of Jujutsu Kaisen? Why would I watch a dumb, stupid anime, Maya? Well, because that's your entire quirk. Also, it's a really good anime. If you actually want to watch it, we can have a sleepover. We can watch it. Fine, I'll come to have a sleepover, but we're not watching Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm still trying to figure out this thing from that one thing about balls and lizards and big lizard balls. Natsu, we've talked about this. It's Dragon Ball Z. It's not my fault that I don't pay attention. It kind of is your fault. These two are just vibing off in the back of the classroom. You do see like a very like sleepy, almost kind of like depressed. Um, it looks like a giant bee. He's a very slender body. His skin seems to be bright yellow with like wraps of black going up his arms and his legs, with big wings coming from his back. He has almost, it's not known if it's just part of his attire or if it's just natural to him. He has a big like puffy and fluffy ball of like yellow fuzz that appears around his neck. His eyes are a bit more insectoid and he has like little antennas coming out. And he just looks very sad. Um, sitting next to the window, as the sun's coming up, he seems to be a bit more perky. You see one
Mm.
kid who is just screaming out like, "Silent, I'm gonna fucking kill you! Why the fuck are we here so early? You know what? I'm going to explode you into a million fucking pieces!" Don't make me call Dad. We're here early, so this way we can go ahead and pick our seats, find where our seats are, make sure we have our classroom, and also I have to make sure the desk is to my prior prerequisitions because if I touch it, I don't want to break it if I'm stressed or crying. And if you could just stop yelling, because now you're making a scene and it's gonna be a really bad thing. God, can you stop being a little bitch baby for 5 minutes? I'm sorry. As
I would like to say, as that is going on, if Samantha is paying attention, Lance's fist has balled up, and I think, as his childhood friend, she'll know he's getting ready to go and sock that motherfucker.
Sam's just gonna basically put a hand on your shoulder and it's like, don't don't worry. That's Kira and Silent Flynn. You know the brothers. You just kind of get used to it because she just goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Before she even finishes 5, the floor under Kita almost becomes clay. As Silent tripped, a small smirk came out, and Kita gets completely consumed by the floor. Then Silent stops touching it, and it reforms into floor matter. And then Silent just goes to his desk.
It did. Did he just get sent to the basement?
No, he's just in the floor right now.
Hmm.
Don't worry, he can breathe. Silent would not kill him. Well, I don't think he would. Well, not only two of his parents.
Right.
That is a very questionable aspect. But anyways, that is Kita, in case you don't remember. He's the guy that can make anything he touch explodes. And Silent over there is our prodigy kid. Most of us are 15. Him over there is only like 12. Um, but as you guys are
Hmm.
talking, you then just see this elegant woman dressed in much more of a pencil skirt, a small little like corset, belt. It's not an actual corset. A white T-shirt. Her jacket is just put on, buttoned up, almost like a professional. Her auburn brownish hair wrapped up in a ponytail. As she just goes, "Now, Silent, I thought we discussed this when we were sharing your dorm. Your brother may be a horrible person, and that's no reason to treat him like such an asshole. I mean, look at me. Not only am I Buddhist, but I've also been trained in Catholicism, in Judaism, in Christianity, and most of my faiths preach pacifism. If you need, we can help you recharge that anger to be a better person." And then she sees her eyes on um, Sam and Lance and just walks over like, "You know, Lance, it is such a powerful thing for you to still get into this hero course despite your horrendous injuries taking you out of playing sports and the only thing you were ever good at and got accomplishments in. I am so proud of you for pushing through that diversity.
Oh God. Lance is just going to take like a bit more. It's less of a step forward and more of just a stomp because that that shit made him angry when that gets brought up as he just goes, I'm fine, and if I chose I would have gotten in with the entrance exam.
You know, it's still wonderful that someone gave you a recommendation to get in here. Well, if you need anything at all, you can always call upon me, the representative of this class. We already voted last night. Um, and don't worry, I did tell everyone how horrible it would be for us to vote without you, but you know how democracy works. But we always gotta make sure we're on time. Because some people think that, being on time is on time and not late. If you don't show up, 10 to 15 minutes early for class, you're going to be late and you might miss some very important lecture material. Oh, forgive me, I forgot to tell you my name. My name is Anya Vaughn. She's gonna hold her hand for you to shake it.
Lance. Lance Minnock, but my guess is you already knew that, as he will also go in for a handshake.
She'll shake your hand. She doesn't have a very tight grip, but she does grip it with the strength that she does have in her grip. She just goes, "Wonderful. Now, I've been informed by your mother that you might need some special accommodations during training, so if anything is ever too hard, please let me know and I'll go speak to the teachers for you."
If training gets too hard, I'll just push past it.
We don't want you to re-injure your injury, because it'd be really bad if your hero career ended before it even started.
The injury didn't kill me before. I'll be fine.
Well, if you ever just need a little something to sparkle, just call Aurora Vale. She'll walk off to go attend to Natsu and Maya. Sam just goes, "So she's a bitch, right?"
Yeah, yeah, no, entirely.
Cool. She gives me like she's going to grow up and be a Karen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but a couple other students are going to eventually come in. And I'll give you some time if you want to interact with some NPCs before we end. We're also going to meet. Okay, so you see this very almost. It's a very thin, slender person. His hair is currently shaved, different couple bald spots. He looks decently sickly. And as he walks in, he trips over like this small little like step to get into the classroom, and it's not even a step, it's just a little board to separate some of the grout. He trips onto it, falls through like a desk, flips over it, and then lands on a wall as a bucket falls on his head, and he just goes, I hate my work. uh,
Just watching all this go down is just. mm, You good over there, bud?
yeah. My name's Lee. Wanted to know. My quirk makes me very super effective against attacks, but I'm suffered by bad luck. So I think I broke my arm and my collarbone and possibly my kneecap.
Right. Well, I'm gonna say this is probably worth a trip to the doctor's office, my guy. As Lance just kind of tries to, as gently as possible, help this man up.
Yeah, you try to help him up and he just goes, most people just leave me on the floor.
Ah,
Um,
well, fuck them in that case.
Sam moves to the other side of you and just goes, I don't know why people would just leave such a cute little thing like you on the floor. And she helps you drag her. You see that she kind of stays in this like dumb persona unless she's talking to people she actually likes. Because she doesn't like people to expect a lot from her since her dad's the number two hero.
Yeah, and it's the thing of when this persona like comes out of her, Lance just rolls his eyes of just, oh god, here we go again.
Yeah, he just goes, wait, who's the nurse in today?
That's the moral dilemma of, do I send this poor man to harm assist?
That question is, do you tell him that Armistice is the one today?
Lance is just gonna go like, oh, head physician.
You see his eyes go into fear. He starts to like try to get out of you to just jump out the window. No, if no, no, it will be less paid if I just jump out the window.
No, no. And Lance is just going to do the spiel of, if your collarbone doesn't heal correctly, it might affect your ribs, and your ribs might puncture your lungs. And since you already have bad enough luck, I would say that is a high percentage of that happening. And he's just giving the whole spiel that the doctors gave him when his collarbone and arm were broken.
Mm. Yeah. As you give that speech, you just hear a small peep out from a he's a tall guy, yeah, very silent. He seems to have like mushrooms growing off his body, and he just goes, I could possibly do something.
Just, just turned to him like, well, when the hell did you get here? Sorry, you said you could do something?
I've been here all morning.
Oh, my bad.
You watch as he taps one of his mushrooms 3 times, and spores that seem to be a bit more metallic appear out as he makeshifts them and sends it through Lee's mouth, and there you can just hear a couple of cracks as his bones are reset. And he just goes, I've recently learned how to use my spores to make sure the alert to someone's body is correct.
Oh, well, that's very useful. Thanks, mate. As Lance just like holds out his hand.
He goes to like shake your hand. He just goes, "My name's Thomas. Also, I can use this ability to completely rearrange someone's insides and choke them out."
Well, Thomas, I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that second bit. And name's Lance.
It's nice to meet you. Um, and he just gets kind of quieter to the point that it's very hard to hear him. And just a dude burst in. His body is almost translucent. His hair is very messy. He's wearing the school uniform, and he burst in. Is just like, whoa, that took a lot more out of me than expected. What the fuck is up, Class 1C? And a bunch of people just looking over at him, just being like, it's too. How much coffee did you have? You just hear Thomas going, he doesn't have a physical body, and it makes the spores upset.
I'm sorry, you said he doesn't have a physical body?
No, that's my childhood friend. His name is Connor. I mean, he does technically have a physical body, but he's been in a coma from the moment he was born.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, no, don't worry about it. His quirk is coma. And he just goes, he starts whispering too much to the point that he'll have to speak louder if you want to hear what his actual quirk does.
And the main thing is just like, at least he's keeping in high spirits.
Um, he eventually just walks by to like kind of pat Thomas on the back. You realize his form is reacting to like actual things. He just goes, "Yo, Thomas, finally made another friend, I see." You want to call him a friend? I just helped someone. You know, we've talked about this. You gotta be loud if you want to talk to people. I'm sorry, I can be a bit louder. Does this work? You actually got silent, more quieter, my dude. Okay, now I can't even hear you
Yeah,
when
don't
you're
worry.
speaking.
Yeah, don't worry. As long as you say the important stuff first, you don't have to worry about getting too quiet.
uh, we're trying to break him out of being shy, but yo, name's Connor, dude. You see is when Connor sees that you're short, his form kind of shrinks to be like 1 inch taller than you to give you a handshake.
There's that moment of just, this motherfucker! Before Lance just stretches out his hand, just, Lance. Lance Monarch.
Uh, he's going to shake your hand and just goes, wonderful. Also, if you see like a girl that's about to walk in here, it was not me. And almost on keyword, you see a girl which black hair. It's in a pixie cut. The tips are almost dyed a pink, or it could be that she just hasn't redone her hair in a while and it was originally a red. She's just wearing the traditional uniform. She's wearing the pants version of it for girls, and she just goes, I did not spend the last 5 minutes making 3 pots of coffee for you to take them all. You know my quirk reacts. The more caffeine I have, the stronger I am. How the fuck do you expect me to live my life without coffee, you fucking bastard? And then you took on the fucking tea! And Connor's just like, yeah, just calm the fuck down. I'm not used to having taste buds. I just want to know what it tasted like. I am going to fucking kill you.
I feel like I am in the middle of something I really shouldn't be at the moment.
Sam just looks at you and just goes, you've learned if you don't give Millie coffee before she socializes, she's very aggressive.
I see.
And I'll add one other NPC for you to meet today. We'll save the others for some other one shots. Ooh. This is the one I wanted to introduce. This kid is not from Class 1C. He's just coming to check in, see how things going. He has black hair that has almost that anime like sheen within his hair dyed in. He's shorter, um, wearing a fully black outfit of the uniform instead of the original green and yellow. He has almost like a rainbow design going down the jacket. His belt seems to be rainbow with some insignia of a pond. And he just goes, oh, sweetheart, it's completely fine. There's coffee right down the hall. And Connor, you know, it's really upset that you would take a woman's coffee. Then again, people should really share more in these days. Now, who are you? And he's gonna point at Lance.
The um hmm.
You know, are you mute? Can you not speak?
No, now I can speak. I'm just name's Lance.
Ah, nice to meet you. And I don't touch people unless they sanitize first. Um, but you can just call me. Just call me Kay.
Okay.
But just wanted to see how everyone was doing. You know, don't worry, I'm not in your class. I'm in class 1B. Because some people thought that class 1B needed someone with a bit more kindness and gentle hand.
It's going to be just after hearing I'm actually in 1B, it's just then why are you here?
Well, I was tasked to just, make sure the 1C class was doing well, especially since I am the representative of 1B.
Well, someone might be buried under the floorboards, but other than that, everything's going swell.
Uh, feels right. Sometimes being buried under a floorboard is a wonderful, valuable lesson, a wonderful training tool. I should head out because Mr. Flynn does not want me to go places without an escort. You go to prison once and then you're just trapped with an identity. And he's just gonna walk out with his hands like on the back of his head, very nonchalant. his quirk is called Pathological Liar. He can make whatever he lies become part of reality. The backlash to his quirk is he cannot stop lying. Are there any NPCs you would like to talk to before we fully end session?
No, but hmm, I I want Lance to do something very petty,
Okay,
but I need to know if the seating arrangement is close enough.
okay.
Is Lance's seat close enough that when whenever Kisa starts like being released from his
Mhm,
earthly prison,
mhm.
can Lance just like use him as a walking board? Just kind of, he was being a dick.
Um,
And
I
this is just a small thing.
I'm gonna say no, since your seat's more in the middle of the class and Kita is seat number two.
That's fair.
Um, I wish I could say yes, but I don't think you can do something from someone 15 feet away at the moment.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mm,
It's probably just going to be a lot more like one thing that's gone to Lance a small bit. It's like everyone else has been explaining their quirks while I'm just sat here.
mm. Um, yes. Um, well, then I'm gonna end this here, as this is just a little intro session for people to like get a small feel of Lance, introduce some, NPCs. Nothing major, just a little bit of slice of life this session. Um, is there anything you would like to?
No trauma or death.
Not yet. Anything you would like to say about the to the audience, to the people watching at home?
Uh, there's not really much that
Mm,
I would like to say,
mm,
if anything at all. I don't really have anything.
mm. Yes. Well, thank you all for coming today for the second time we tried to premiere this. Um, and it may be small and shorter than some other sessions. Not a lot went on. It was just a little introductory to a lot of Lance and Lance's major NPCs of his family and meeting some, students in Class 1C. Um, we got to little bit know about our lovable Lance. Still, as the narrator, I am going to still say that we have Lance Broken Bones is going to be the
I
OTP.
hate you.
And please, if you want to put it in the comment section, just to mess with Cal over here, Lance Broken Bones OTP. Uh, but thank you for coming to the session. I do want to apologize that the frame rates have been a little here and there. There we go. We got a Lance Broken Bones in the comments. Just had to stop the
Uh,
exit just to let you know that. Oh, we got two of them. Okay, let's go. But thank you for coming out tonight, and we will be back on next Wednesday for another introduction. And I believe we should be having a. Let me pull up my calendar, y'all. We should be having on the 13th. We'll be coming back for another episode of Sinful, and we until the first week of December, we will be having our Sinful bi-weekly. And almost every week until we go on hiatus, we'll have a DHA intro. Please come and join us for another one, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Please take care of your mental health. This may be the dissonance complex, where chaos is my mental issue, but you should seek therapy. And remember, do as I say and not what we do. Thank you for coming, and have a wonderful afternoon.